Hi tennis fans, I'm Grace Carter and this is Tennis Now presented by Tennis Express. Tennis Express, order today and it ships today. We can officially say goodbye to men's tennis, at least for a few weeks. It has been a thrill ride though, hasn't it this season? Marked by a teenager's rise to #1 and a bevy of breakout performances by the tour's top players. And of course, there was the handiwork of Novak Djokovic and Rafa Nadal, who continued to assert themselves at the top of the sport, taking home 3 slam titles and several other big non-slam titles. Men's tennis is in a period of upheaval. The legends of the game are keen to maintain their domination, but the younger players are asserting themselves. With a look back, here are 10 numbers that define the 2022 ATP season, starting with the number 22. Rafa Nadal finishes the season as the all-time leader in men's singles Grand Slam titles. Rafa won the Australian Open and Roland Garros. Novak, who missed 2 majors in 2022, finishes the season with 21 major titles, picking up his 7th Wimbledon title this summer. Our next number, 19. That's the age of Carlos Alcaraz, who became the youngest player in history to reach the #1 ranking after he won the US Open. Alcaraz also became the youngest year-end #1 in ATP history. Next up, the number 41. That's the age of Roger Federer when he retired this September at Laver Cup. It was the emotional moment of the season, with tears flowing as the Swiss maestro said goodbye to the sport, with his friends and rivals paying tribute. Number 2, representing the 2 teenagers that climbed inside the top 10 at the same time for the first time since 2007. Holger Rune joined Carlos Alcaraz after winning the Paris title, marking the first time that 2 teenagers occupied spots inside the top 10 in the same week since May of 2007 when Andy Murray and Novak Djokovic did the trick. Felix Auger-Aliassime is next on our list and his magic number is 4. The Canadian won 4 titles in 2022. Pretty remarkable considering that prior to this season, he was 0-8 in ATP finals. Add to that titles at the ATP Cup, Davis Cup, and a victory at Laver Cup, and you have one of the best seasons in Canadian tennis history. Next up, the number 9, and for this we turn to the American men, who cracked a milestone by placing 9 players inside the year-end top 50 in 2022. That hasn't happened since the heady days of Sampras and Agassi back in 1996. It was a tumultuous season for Novak Djokovic to be sure, but the next number points to a positive 2023. Djokovic only earned 360 ranking points across the 4 majors in 2022, which means that he is in position to make another run at #1 in 2023. Novak couldn't play the Australian Open or the US Open and didn't get any ranking points for his win at Wimbledon. At Roland Garros, he earned 360 points for reaching the quarters. So Djokovic is going to begin 2023 at number 5 in the ATP rankings, 2,000 points behind Carlos Alcaraz. And speaking of Djokovic, here's another number, 32. The 35-year-old sits atop the all-time men's singles Grand Slam finals list with 32 and trails Chrissy Evert, the all-time women's leader, by 2. Next up, 12. The number of first-time ATP title winners in 2022. A list that includes Alcaraz, Rune, Brandon Nakashima, Lorenzo Mazzetti, and the producer of our last number, Tim van Rijthoven. At world number 205, the Dutchman became the lowest-ranked title winner on the ATP Tour in 2022 by defeating Daniil Medvedev in the final at Hertogenbosch. He now sits at 114 in the world. Amazing. And there you have it, 10 of the numbers that define the 2022 ATP season. Which moments stand out for you? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and thanks for watching Tennis Now TV. We'll see you next time.